Good morning, beloveds. It's hot out there. I say that a lot, but it's hot out there. The humidity is so high today that you sweat and it won't evaporate to cool you off. So, but the run is done. Now I just have to survive today. And you know, the weather has been so weird with all the lightning and the thunder. And I didn't see any lightning yesterday, but I got to listen to a lot of thunder. And then the rain. I literally dreamed about Thor last night. I'm just like, what is in your head, woman? I'm dreaming about the god of thunder. So maybe I need to tell him to take a vacation. It's like the rain I can deal with. The thunder and the lightning, yeah. All right. It is August 19th. The title is I Am God's Unlimited Creation. The great unborn self is undecaying, immortal, undying, fearless, infinite. And this is from one of the Upanishads, and I'm going to give it a go. It's the Brihadaranyaka. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Which, if you're looking that up, is Upanishad. Okay, Upanishad I know how to pronounce because I took that class. God is never limited by his creation. Omnipresence, omnipotence, and omni-action are the eternal process of spirit. An unlimited God could only create an unlimited man, and I am that man now. My only foes are those of my own mentality. The universe is for me, and it wants me to succeed. I now assume my rightful place in God's universe and move forward to my own success in life. There are no limits placed upon me by the divine mind, and I now free myself of my own limited thinking. I refuse to accept boundaries of success, for all of God is before me, and all of his intelligence acts through me. I am never the victim of circumstances. I create circumstances and adjust them as I please. God's creative power is my creative power. God's action in the acorn is not limited by the shell. God's action in me is not hampered by body, affairs, or situations. Out from the center of my being comes the full action of life itself. Under the direction of my thought, it produces for me my decisions. I select that which is progressive, creative, and loving. The new creations in my world are flexible and bless me. As there are no fixed ideas in my mind, so there are no fixed situations in my experience. Today, unlimited good is my experience, because the unlimited ideas of the infinite mind fill my consciousness. Every barrier is destroyed and every door opens. The divine plan of my life unfolds with ease, for there is nothing to prevent it. Increased good appears on every hand, and I use it with wisdom. I am the free expression of an unlimited creator. All right, so I immediately had two thoughts, one of which I still remember. The other one, I'll remember it. But the first one is, there's a TV show, and if you watch any of the science, I think it's Discovery. It was Mythbusters. That was the name of it. Mythbusters. And one of them, his name is Adam Savage, and he was one. And what they did was they did movie effects. They're phenomenal. Jamie, I can't remember Jamie's last name, and Adam Savage. And I follow Adam Savage on Instagram. And he's funny, but what it is, one of the things that he said was, I reject your reality and substitute my own. And it's a joke, but it's also true. I reject your reality and substitute my own. And that's kind of what the reading today is about. It's about rejecting the reality, and that's reality with a little r, okay? Reality with a little r. It's rejecting reality that you have been told, okay? So all of the limits that culture and religion and gender and society and just in general people want to put on you, that all of those limits, all of those, well, you can't do that because, you can't do that because you're a girl. You can't do that because, you're in your 40s. You can't do that because you're a teenager. You can't do that because you're 100. You can't do that because you're a Christian. You can't do that because you're Buddhist. All of those religions. You can't do that because you're, all of those. Those are somebody's reality. So I reject your reality and substitute my own. It is my world. Is my world. The world that I live in is mine. The world that you live in is yours. And you have far more control over it than you think you do. And so I want you to quote Adam Savage when you run into a situation. I reject your reality, especially when somebody's trying to limit you. I reject your reality and substitute my own. Okay? Because the reading today is telling you that you have all of the power of the infinite mind behind you to do that. I'm not sure what the other point was. I'll get there. I've already forgotten it. Okay, so I am God's unlimited creation. And like I said, the great unborn self is undecaying, immortal, undying, fearless, and infinite. So, and in that sentence, self is capitalized. So, where we come from, what we are made from, is truly that. Immortal, undying, unlimited, fearless. So when we are having this mortal experience, what we want to tap into is that self. Because it's our true self. It is our reality. With a capital R, not lowercase r. So that is the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. I'm going to try it. Okay, so God is never limited by its creation. God's not limited by its creation. We cannot limit God. Omnipresence, omnipotence, and omniaction are the eternal processes of spirit. It just is, okay? An unlimited God could only create an unlimited person. So God's unlimited, therefore God's creation is also unlimited. Well, we're creations of God. That means that we are unlimited. And I am that person now. My only foes are those of my own mentality, meaning the only person who can truly limit me is me. The only person who can truly limit you is you. And then you can buy into other people's limits. All the limits that people want to put on you, you can buy into that. But you don't have to. The universe is for me and wants me to succeed. The universe is for you and wants you to succeed. I now assume my rightful place in God's universe and move forward to my own success in life. There are no limits placed upon me by the divine mind, and I now free myself of my own limited thinking. If you don't think you know what the mission for today is, you just heard it. I refuse to accept boundaries of success, for all of God is before me and all of God's intelligence acts through me. All of God's intelligence acts through me. We have access to the divine mind because it is the mind that we were made by and with. So we have access to all of it. It comes up to our willing acceptance. I am never the victim of circumstances. I create circumstances and adjust them as I please. Okay? Now, I know, you hear that. I'm never a victim of circumstances. And that's hard. That's hard. So remember that statements like that are held in treatment. We live in a messy, juicy, mortal world. We are in relationship. We are in intersections. We are going to run into people, and circumstances are going to happen. But there is the difference between the victim mentality and dealing with what's happening. So stating that you are not the victim of circumstances means it gives you power to, when you run into circumstances, to do something about it. All right. So sometimes they say things and I would like to soften the blow. Let me remind you, don't beat yourself up about this. So, but you can create circumstances and adjust them as you please. God's creative power is my creative power. God's action in the acorn is not limited by the shell. God's action in me is not hampered by body, affairs, or situations. That line right there, I think this may be the other thing that I thought, is what was it? God's action in me is not hampered by body, affair, and situations. We're here for a time. We're here for a purpose. And when we hit the limits of this body is when we shed it. So God's action is not limited by body, affairs, or situations, because when we hit that limit and it's time to move on, then we'll shed those limits. And I know that's an extreme example, but that's just it. It's like you're going to push up against the limit and you're going to go. And when you're ready to shed that limit, you will. But that's my argument for why we don't stay in this body forever. You know? Because this body is limited. But we, inside of it, are not. It's just a vehicle. It's just a vehicle. All right. Out of the center of my being comes the full action of life itself. Under the direction of my thought, it produces for me my decisions. I select that which is progressive, creative, and loving. I select within the alignment of God, with the alignment of spirit. The new creations in my world are flexible and bless me. I mean, if I'm going to create it, I'm going to create it flexible and blessing. That's my statement there. There are no fixed ideas in my mind, so there are no fixed situations in my experience. Think about that one for a minute. There are no fixed ideas in my mind, so there are no fixed situations in my experience. It means that whatever I come across, I can do something about. It may take me a minute to figure it out, but I can do something about it. Today, unlimited good is my experience because the unlimited idea of the infinite mind fill my consciousness. Every barrier is destroyed and every door opens. The divine plan of my life unfolds with ease, for there is nothing to prevent it. Increased good appears on every hand, and I use it with wisdom. Okay? I use it with wisdom. I am the free expression of an unlimited creator. If the creator is unlimited, then the creation is unlimited. We are unlimited. So I told you already, the mission, should we choose to accept it, is to free ourselves of our own limited thinking, to refuse to accept the boundaries to success. Because all of spirit is before us. The universe wants us to succeed. God wants us to succeed. So I reject your reality and substitute my own. I'm going to go back to God's idea of me, and God's idea of me is unlimited. Just like I'm going to go back to God's idea of you, and God's idea of you is unlimited. All right, beloveds. We are unlimited creations. Don't accept them. Don't accept the limits of others. Do not. Reject their reality. and live in your own. All right, beloveds, it does not mean that we don't play well with others, okay? We do play very well with others. So, we just don't accept their limitations. All right, beloveds, I'm going to move into the process of my day. I don't know what I was about to say, but what do I say every day? Please do something loving for yourself. Please do something kind for yourself. Please do something compassionate for yourself. Whatever it looks like. Whatever it looks like. About halfway through the run, I told Tom, I said, I just want to walk home. I did not. I continued to run. But I rested. I walked plenty. It was just hot, and I wasn't going to push myself today. That was my kind and compassionate and loving thing. One, I did go for the run, but two, I allowed my body to tell me when it was ready to run and when it was not. So, that is what it is. Please practice upon yourself. One, as I always say, you deserve your own loving, kind, and compassion. Two, the more you practice on yourself, the more permanent the behavior becomes, the more you have in the bank to share with everybody else. And that is the reality of it. And that's how we make a world that works for everybody. Okay. It's Thursday? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Oh, wait. Yes, I do. There's a prayer circle tonight. I believe it starts at 7. So if you are interested in that, it is run by 2 of the practitioners, and it's done on Telebridge. So email info@creativelife.org for that, to get that information. I always forget about that. That's what goes on Thursdays, and they're fantastic practitioners. So please do something to engage your mind and your body today, whatever that looks like. I don't know about the sun. I got a little bit first thing this morning, but they said something about mostly cloudy today. So get your sunlight where you can. 5-10 minutes. That's all you need. That's all you need. Drink plenty of water. And open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven now. You do live in heaven now. It's all around you. All you have to do is be willing to look. Be willing to look for the good. The more you look, the more you see, the more you see, the more there is. All right, beloveds. Reverend David should be on Facebook Live around 5 p.m. with you. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. Do what you need to do to make it a fantastic day, a wonderful day, an amazing day. A good day. And if that's too much pressure, just simply have a day. Just simply have a day. Know that you're loved. Know that you're loved. And feel free to catch us anytime on the YouTube channels, Creative Life Spiritual Center, or mine is the Running Rev Ryan. And God help us, you didn't hear this from me, we may be starting a TikTok. All right, beloveds. Know that you're loved, and I will see you tomorrow.